The Loretta Young Show.
Someone once said that a man is never so ridiculous for the qualities that he has as for those he pretends he has. You agree? The young lady you're about to see is Laurie Barlow.
Listen, Mother, could you give me that recipe of yours for Yorkshire pudding?
Well, of course, Pet, but whatever for?
Well, there's this character up here who's doing graduate work in Russian studies at Harvard, and he says he'll cook me a roast beef dinner if I'll make a Yorkshire pudding. Do you think I can swing it?
Oh, of course. There's nothing to it. I'll switch it down to Elsie in the kitchen later on, and she can look up the recipe for you.
Okay.
And, honey, don't overcook it.
I won't.
Laurie,
Yeah?
let me know how it comes out.
I will. Bye.
And let us hear from you more often.
All right, Daddy. Bye now.
Honey, goodbye and have fun.
With this character, I can't miss. He's way out.
Oh, I see. Well, goodbye.
Hey, the recipe.
Oh, I'll switch it right down there.
Well, what was that all about?
She's got a new boyfriend.
Well, did she happen to tell you his name?
No. And I didn't ask her either. Dan, I think this is something serious.
Serious? You don't even know who it is.
I know. But at 8 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday morning for a thing like this? And she sounded so completely different. Oh, wonderful, but different.
Well, darling, it is April. and She is 19. She's never gone overboard for anyone before. I think it's perfectly normal.
I know. But Dan, just suppose it is serious. And she brings him home. And I go and do it again.
You didn't do it those other times. Those boys simply weren't for Laurie. Darling, our daughter's bound to marry somebody splendid. Oh, he may not love you. You may not love him. But Laurie loves you, even if she can't show it all the time. Now go back to bed, stop brooding, read your newspaper.
Dan never did understand the problem. Because, thank the Lord, I've never been a problem to him. But it isn't easy for Laurie to have a mother whom everyone describes as dynamic. I loathe loud, dominating, competitive women. And I constantly discipline myself not to make like one. Still, I must admit, something in me bounds out at people. I'm simply the product of more than average vitality. When people like it, they like it fine. But those who don't hate it. And the 3 most recent men in Laurie's life have been among the latter, I'm sorry to say.
Pour me a cup of coffee, will you, honey? Are you still brooding? Will you stop?
Dan, I know Laurie tries not to show it or to be bitter, but the implication was there. As each romance ended, it was always my fault.
You're an intelligent woman. You've got an awful lot of blind spots.
Oh, I don't think so.
It's refreshing.
Well, thank you, dear. But I don't think they're blind spots. I mean, you take that sophomore, for instance, from Yale. What was his name? The blonde one, you know? Remember, it was when Laurie was a senior in high school.
I can't remember his name.
Neither can I. But I never will forget that New Year's Eve party. Remember, he had just enough punch in him to turn his duty dance with Laurys Mother into an exuberant jitterbug yet.
Which ended with him kissing you ardently under the mistletoe. I thought it was very funny. So did you.
Oh, sure. Until Laurie reported later to me that mothers back in Utah acted their age.
Yeah, the little scamp probably didn't even realize what you were saying.
Oh, she did indeed realize what she was saying. Why, she practically screamed at me. Why does Papa let you? Why don't you act your age just for once? Why don't you act like a mother? Now, honestly, Dan, Wouldn't you think that being maternally interested and helpful would be a part of it?
Yes, of course.
Well, not so. At least, not to that sophomore from Georgia. Remember, Pete?
Vividly, you all.
I liked him. I was interested. But, oh, brother, was I wrong? Then there was that Amherst senior from Wisconsin. If only he hadn't been a political science major. When he said flatly that all of our foreign aid was money down the drain, naturally I had to speak up. I had to make him see that isolation was no longer possible. But Marvin, that was his name. He could ask a lot of questions, but he sure didn't want any answers.
Marvin says that the real trouble with America today is that most American women try to eat men alive. He says you're a devouring monster. And when I said, what did he want? A nice little yes woman simpering on his sleeve? He said I was obviously the same as you and wouldn't understand. And so I told him to get lost, and he did. Mother, I know it's not your fault, but you do seem to get into the hair of all my men.
Hey, come back here.
Oh, sorry, darling.
Well, Mother, the Yorkshire pudding was a great success.
But Curt, that's his name, Mother. Curt Anderson. Oh, he's quite a character.
There's no use trying to describe him because I'm bringing him home
As soon as exams are over,
Oh, you are?
I can't wait for you to meet him.
Well, honey, neither can I. Listen, let me know what's going on, will you, so I can plan something? Or rather, you plan something and then let me know, okay?
Good. We'll have a formal dance in a couple of weeks, okay?
Okay.
Love you, kitten.
Love you, Daddy. I can't talk now. Curt will be here any minute. Bye now.
Goodbye, sweetheart.
Yeah, what's all this about a formal dance in a couple of weeks?
Well, she's planning one. And she's bringing him home in a couple of weeks. As soon as exams are over.
Couple of weeks, huh?
Hmm?
Hope this character's still around. Trouble with Laurie's men is they just don't last.
Honey, the trouble with Laurie's men is Laurys Mother.
Some trouble.
Gee, Mommy, the house looks wonderful.
Oh, thanks, sweetie.
Kurt's going to be mad about it.
Well, I hope so.
Oh, he will.
Mm.
Oh, Mommy, he's so warm and understanding and, well, loving. He's never had a real home for years because his parents never liked.
Oh?
His father's an economist with .4.
Hmm.
Oh, Mommy, he's going to fit in like he was born here, you'll see. And soon, I'm going down the drive to meet him.
All right. Oh, she's so happy. Dear Lord, don't let me goof this time.
Where's Juliet?
Oh, Juliet went down to the gate to meet Romeo. Look, honey, I'm counting on you to make friends with him. Find out what he's like. I'm going to make like the help. The silent, serene creature in the corner will not be Whistler's mother, but Laurie's.
I'll be watching, fascinated.
What's the matter with you?
I don't know. I ache all over. I think I got a bit of a fever.
Let me see. Let me feel your... Oh, here, I'll say you have.
Now,
Up to
wait,
bed
Janet,
with
now,
you,
look,
and I'll
don't
call
make a
Dr.
big
Wade.
It's
I'm
nothing.
not making big. You got 101 if it's anything. Now, up to bed, and I'll call Dr.
All
Wade.
right, I'll go upstairs for a while.
And hurry up, honey. Get in and cover up. Oh, dear.
Well, he made it. Mother, this is Curt Anderson. Curt, my mother.
How do you do, Mrs. Barlow?
Oh, be careful. Don't rush in. Don't try to make friends too quickly. Oh, how do you do?
I would have known you were Laurie's mother even if I saw you on another planet. What little looks you have, Laurie, you certainly stole them from your mother.
Yes, people do say that there is a resemblance. But the new model has many improvements.
Thank you. But the new model isn't all that tested. Still full of bugs, Ma.
Of course, performance is important. But what first attracted me were the lines. And they're not so different from the original model.
He has charm.
I understand you are a rare woman. Not only very beautiful, but extremely intelligent and somewhat of an authority on world affairs.
No, a mother's world stops at the back door.
Is she ever? I can't wait until you two tangle. Mother, Curt's doing graduate studies in China and the Middle East with Professor Harper.
Oh, how wonderful. Oh, Harper's a fascinating man, don't you think?
Yes, he is.
And does he know his subject matter?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I went to a luncheon for him the other day, and...
Yes?
Don't get on, Mother. Get off.
Yes.
Dear, your father has come down with a little temperature, and I think I was about to call Dr. Wade.
Oh, I'm so sorry,
And,
Mrs.
it's
Barlow.
nothing serious. It's just a little virus, I think. But Mother better go upstairs and see that he gets into bed. It's been nice meeting you, Mr. Anderson.
Very nice meeting you, Mrs.
Thank
Barlow.
you.
See you at lunch, Mother?
Yes?
This sure is a mess of a reception. I'm sorry, Curt.
Well, don't feel sorry for me. Feel sorry for your father. I feel wonderful, Laurie. Gee, your mother's charming.
Oh, just you wait. Wait till she really gets to know you.
Okay.
Come on, I'll show you to your room.
Right.
Thank you, Lucy. Yes, it's love, all right. I'd like to reach out and pat them both. Laurie is so anxious for us to put our best feet forward. If I just knew which was my best foot, if I have one.
Laurie says that your special interest is the Middle East, Mrs. Barlow. I've done some traveling with my father out there. Why do you think that after all the help we have poured out to them, that we haven't made more friends?
Nope. Opinions are dangerous. Be careful. I don't know. It's a terrible tangle, isn't it? Well, what do you think the trouble is?
Well, I was only 14 when I was there, actually.
Laurie tells me that you're concentrating on Russian.
Oh, yes, and it's a plenty tough language. I am not always sure that I can handle it.
He's just being modest. Mummy, he was salutatorian when he graduated.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I buckled down my last 2 years in school to make up for the first 2 that I grasshoppered through.
Oh.
Maybe it's my old man's influence, but I sort of feel that a lot of us who a while ago would have gone out and concentrated on making a pile of money had better start concentrating on making friends with the rest of the world.
He's also intelligent.
Don't you think that there are bound to be more and more jobs in the international field for men who aren't millionaires? I'd really like to know your opinion, Mrs. Barlow.
And I'd like to give you one, but I won't. I am not going to be opinionated. Yes, I think they're bound to be. More coffee?
Yes, thank you.
Mother, I told Curt you were taking a semester of Russian. Talk Russian, you two. I want to hear it.
Oh, I'm sorry, darling, but my mind's an absolute blank. You'll have to forgive me, Mr. Anderson, but with Laurie's flu-bitten father upstairs and the party tonight, there are just so many things that I have to do, if you'll excuse me.
Well, now, we don't want to lose you, so the only answer is for us to work right along with you, side by side. Listen, I am pretty good in the kitchen. I hashed my way through school.
Oh, well, no, you sit right down. You're the guest of honor.
Oh, but the greatest honor would be to be of service to you.
Ooh, careful, Mummy. He's out to win you.
That's right. Careful, Mother. Turn the compliment. Trying to get at the daughter through the mother, That's an old trick.
I'm afraid not. He already has me, and he knows it.
Like it or not, we are going to help. Now, my ambition is to get out of the guest category, but fast, and into the family. If I do a good job, am I hired, Mrs. Barlow?
Oh, Mr. Anderson. Laurie does the hiring in that area. Her father and I have nothing to say about it.
Mommy, don't be nasty.
Oh, I'm sorry, darling. I didn't mean to be. Oh, no, I just meant that, well, things like that we leave completely up to Laurie. Now, excuse me?
She really must be upset about Daddy. Anyway, I guess that's what's bothering her.
Yeah. Well, listen, I hope she doesn't miss that party tonight.
Mother miss a party? Never.
Hi, darling. How do you like him?
A lot. He's sensitive, intelligent, mature, and he adores Laurie.
Good.
But it is awful not having you down there to make friends with him. Because every time I open my mouth, I'm afraid of what's going to come out.
Oh, stop. You're being ridiculous. Just relax.
Relax. Daniel, that is the very thing I don't dare do. I think I'll take a cold shower. You need some more fun, young man.
Hi.
Nifty party.
Hi, Mom. Real nifty. Next.
Oh, now listen here, young man. Careful, you'll kiss my glamour away.
I've got plenty of kisses, but not that many.
Oh, it's a perfect party, Mommy.
Perfect, but do you know that three's a crowd, young ladies? So on your way, Junior. I'm dancing with the beauty in the family.
I can't argue with you there. Oh, be good. Oh, honey, don't worry. I will be good. I will.
I don't know whether I'm full of punch or full of love. Probably both.
Oh.
I've never felt so wonderful in my whole life.
Well, that's good.
Do you know that you're a doll and you danced a fine lady?
Well, now's the time, Mother. Trip over your feet. Oh! Oh! I'm terribly sorry I'm so clumsy.
Not at all, on the contrary.
I think you better stick with the younger generation. Now, off you go.
Mrs. Barlow.
Oh.
Mrs. Barlow, I know you're terribly preoccupied and worried about Laurys father. But I want you to know how much I want you to like me. I'm terribly in love with your beautiful daughter. And terribly want to be a part of your family.
Would you like to get me some punch?
I'd be delighted.
Oh, he does sound as if he belongs in our family, but if I say so, will I be rushing ahead of Laurie and taking him in too soon? Will he think I'm too eager? How do I know? Oh, thank you. Do you really want to know what I think?
Yes.
Well, I think it's too soon for you to be talking about your marriage to my daughter. Now, if you'll excuse me, Mrs. Roberts looks lonesome over there, so...
Oh. How'd it go?
Oh, just fine, I think. How do you feel, honey?
All right, I guess.
Ah, well, I'm exhausted. But you'll be glad to know that I was a model of maternal poise.
Good. It sounded like fun.
Everybody's gone now. Undo this, will you, honey? Curt and Laurie are still downstairs. They've kicked off their shoes and they're talking over the whole affair. You know, he's very cute, Dan. Mm-hmm. He asked me to kick off mine, too, and join him. Ooh, I was tempted to. But in the nick of time, I remembered that mothers go upstairs.
Yes. Come to bed, Mother.
Gladly. M is for the da-da-da-da-da, cha-cha-cha. M is for the many things you do. Oh, fool. Oh, good morning, sweetheart.
Morning, Mother.
God bless you, Elsie. You never know we had a party here last night.
Well, Curt's leaving.
What?
He's in his room packing. He's going to take the early train.
But why?
Because he feels absolutely wretched. And so do I. Oh, Mommy, he was so crazy to meet you, and he wanted so desperately to have you accepted.
Honey, what is this? I like him. I like
No,
him
you
very
don't.
much.
He couldn't miss it, and neither could I. But you were so different from what I told him you would be. I love him, Mommy, and he feels so awful.
Oh, sweetheart. Oh, honey. Suddenly I feel pretty awful myself. Oh, poor Laurie, poor Curt, poor me. Come on, we'll straighten this thing out right now.
I don't see how you can.
Well, I do. We've never lost a house guest yet. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm sorry I have to leave, Mrs. Barlow. It's been great.
Oh, thank you. But, could we talk?
Certainly.
Laurie tells me that you feel rejected, I believe is the word. Sit down, please.
Thank you.
What made you feel that I didn't like you? Because I do.
Oh, I'm sure you do in a friendly, distant way. I know it was too soon to expect you to go beyond that. I told myself on the way down here not to rush in, not to try too hard to make friends the first time. But I liked you. Of course, I love Laurie. I couldn't help myself. I realized right away that there was something about me that put you off. Well, I didn't know what. So I thought if I tried just a little harder, maybe I could make you like me. Well, I realized that it was very childish. And I woke up this morning kicking myself. Of course, I realized it was too late.
Oh. You know, if anyone needs kicking, I do. Oh, sure, you rushed in a little fast, but I found that tremendously appealing. You were being wonderfully honest, the very thing that I was afraid to be. But not because I didn't like you, not for 1 minute. You know, Laurie, being the pretty girl that she is, has brought home quite a few young men over the years. And, well, she and I, or rather I should say they and I, got into quite a little trouble about my being, well, it seemed if I relaxed and was myself, the young men felt that I was too friendly, or over-helpful, or dominating, you know? Well, they weren't really very important because they weren't important to Laurie, not any of them. But it was difficult and it was painful. Now, I knew that you were important to her, and I just didn't want to do it again. Now, whether you two ever get together or not, that's entirely up to you. But I liked you right away, Curt. And I just was terribly afraid of doing anything that might alienate you. I realize now that was very stupid of me.
What's so silly is that I told Curt you'd like each other because you have so much in common. Qualities, I mean, not just interests.
Oh.
And then you didn't play it straight, Mother.
Well?
And don't you see, with Curt you could have. Because he's a character, too.
Well, we live and learn, don't we? And you know, she's right. We are exactly alike. Just now, when you talked about trying not to rush in, and then kicking yourself because you'd failed, because you tried too hard. Oh, how well I know that feeling, and isn't it terrible?
It's brimstone and fire sometimes, isn't it?
You bet it is. But not for us, huh? Not anymore. Well, should we start all over again?
Curt Anderson's the name. It's a pleasure to meet you, Mrs. Barlow.
It's a pleasure to meet you, too, Curt. Now, how about some breakfast, you two?
Wonderful. You know, Mrs. Barlow, I would have recognized you anywhere. You stole your good looks from your daughter.
Oh, young man, flattery will get you anything. All right, you are. To thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night the day, thou canst not then be false to any man. Well, good night, and we'll see you next week.